We are live. Welcome, guys, back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. I'm Timothy Earle. Today we're going to be kind of just having a little bit of a quicker show because I'm going to have to be out of here in about a little less than half an hour. So about a half an hour max show. We'll talk about the free picks that I'm going to give out, and we'll quickly I'll quickly talk over all the fun college basketball games today because there is a little bit of a fun card because there's 6 good games going to happen today, and I'm actually excited to talk about them. Before we jump into this one, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff with your support. Check out all links in the description below: YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. All of it is linked down below. And if you guys are interested in grabbing all of Earle Sports Bet's best bets, you guys can go over to the picksandparleys.net website. That's where you can find all of our best bets, which included yesterday going 7-2. Nice little day yesterday. Very happy with that. We did start off with the day with Temple team total under 67.5. That they finished with 56. So nice winner there. I like how my 2 hockey plays were kind of, Columbus was down 2-0 at one point, but Pittsburgh money line plus 128 was a nice winner. And so was the Columbus Blue Jackets last night, plus 125. I had the under in the Washington Wizards game. Did not get there, to say the least. That was one of my 2 losers. Middle Tennessee money line versus UAB was a winner. Never in doubt on the Orlando Magic team total over 124.5. Totally didn't need 40 points from them in the fourth quarter to get it by the hook. Thank you, Magic. How about Bowling Green yesterday? Bowling Green plus 12.5. They go, leave your points at the door. They end up winning outright against Kansas State in Kansas State by 16 points. Fascinating. I had the New York Giants last night, loser, whatever. And then we got to bet it again because it wasn't a crazy line. Nikola Jokic, triple-double, plus 105. So it ended up being a nice 7-2 day. Overall, can't complain. Hopefully we can have another really good day like that. We definitely have some volume today because yesterday only 9 plays. Today I have close to 30. So definitely have a bunch of action today. Allie's in the chat. Hit the like button like an adult. Damn right. And I will say, Allie, if you wanted to hop on it and we could talk about those the college basketball games for today, because I know I'm going to be mentioning Iowa, Michigan State, Tennessee, Syracuse, Florida, Duke, your Duke baby, UConn, Kansas, UNC, Kentucky, and then USC, Oregon at the end of the night. So we got some fun games going on. I know it is early over there, but I figured I'd throw that out to you. But no, it should be a really fun day there. I will say we'll quickly. I did put out in the bottom are the free picks for today, which include Duke first half minus 3.5, Michigan State, UNC, Kansas, and Oregon. So there you go. There's 5 of them. And I also included the New York Knicks in the NBA and the Blackhawks team total over in the NHL because everybody loves hockey and everybody loves the NHL and NBA. So I always make sure to throw those in as well. Plus, I obviously you guys see I do bet. I'm up 4 units in the NHL. I'm up 7 units in the NBA. I'm up 9 units in the NFL. We're not going to talk about the college sports for right now, just because it's not really looking all that great. But the pro sports are at least looking good. But we'll go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and talk over those college basketball games because I know I did a free pick video for ESB last night with it, and that was posted up on Twitter as well. I also posted I also did 2 videos with Miss Allie Burns for the Florida Duke game and for the UNC Kentucky game. Make sure you guys are liking those videos because liking, and make sure you guys are subscribed to the Picks and Parleys YouTube channel. definitely important to go ahead and do so because hey, we do a lot of good stuff over there. Let me go pull up those videos, picks and parlays. Let's see if wow, the third thing when you type in picks and parlays is still Craig Trap. That's hilarious. Let's see. Is my video even posted yet? No. My video is not even posted. What? What's going on here? It's not on winners and whiners, is it? Nope. The 2 videos that we recorded are not even uploaded yet. That's fun. Morning, Tim. Good luck today. Good luck to you too as well, Fernando. Welcome. We'll quickly go ahead and discuss these games because they are some good ones. I did talk over some of these in my free pick video, but we'll still I still like to talk about them during the show. Iowa and Michigan State. Michigan State's a 5.5-point favorite. And I did grab the Spartans in this one. You got an Iowa team that is 7-0 and not ranked. I'm sorry, when you got a Big Ten school that's undefeated, 7-0, and they're not ranked, that kind of tells me everything I need to know. You look at their wins. Robert Morris, Western Illinois, Xavier, SEMO, Chicago State, Ole Miss, and Grand Canyon. Now, I will pull up because I just want to have these up. NCAA net rankings basketball. Just so we have an idea of who their best win was. They do have Iowa in the net rankings as 16th. So they are up there. They have Michigan at 10th. These are all net rankings. But one of the teams I want to look up is Mississippi. Or I guess it would be Ole Miss. They have it as Ole Miss. Ole Miss is 98th. So they are a fringe bubble team, I guess. And I think that's their best win. I'm just going to see real quick with Grand. Yeah, Grand Canyon's 159th. And I believe Xavier is pretty far down. Yeah, Xavier's 114. So their best win is against Ole Miss at home. Now they go on the road to Michigan State, who is ranked above them. Michigan State so far this year has challenged themselves. And we can see that they have a win against UNC, who is currently, where is North Carolina? North Carolina is currently 26th in the net rankings, just behind Yale. Interesting. They're 26th in the net rankings. Yeah, they beat Kentucky, who they have Kentucky as wow, they actually have Kentucky pretty far down. Unless I'm blind. Let's see. Nope, they have Kentucky as 15th. I was just blind. So they've beaten 26 and they've beaten 15. And then they also beat Arkansas, which I believe is going to be somewhere in the 20s. 45. Wow, I was way off on that one. But they at least have 3 wins that are better than Iowa's best win. And when it comes to that, they come back home after a nice little run in that tournament. I like the spot for Michigan State. I took them -5.5 in this one versus Iowa and Iowa's undefeated season when they finally get to play a good team. So give me Iowa. Give me Michigan State. We go to Tennessee and Syracuse. Tennessee 7-1, Syracuse 4-3. Tennessee, you look at what they've done this year. They actually have. I'm going to call it the best win. Maybe not. Because where is? Houston's ranked 18th in the net rankings. That's interesting. They gave Houston their only loss. They did play Rutgers, which I don't believe is all that great. Rutgers is 184th, so not really great there. So they do have the win against Houston. They have a loss against Kansas, which Kansas is going to be up there. Kansas is 17th in the net rankings. So they have a win against a top 20 net rankings team and a loss against them. And then on the opposite side, you got Syracuse, who has challenged themselves, but they are 91st in the net ranking, so they're not great. It will be in Syracuse. Their only wins came against Binghamton, Delaware State, Drexel, and Monmouth. It's not great, and I know Binghamton's one of the worst teams. Like to give you guys an idea, Binghamton is ranked 364th. The only team that's worse is the Citadel. They also played Delaware State, which is 362. So they played two of the worst teams in college basketball, and they won. Fine, and they covered. They also played Drexel, who is 275th. So 3 wins outside the top, say 250. And they played Monmouth. So 4 wins all out, which Monmouth's 208. So their 4 wins are all teams outside of the top 200. Then they got Houston, who we just mentioned was 18th. They beat Iowa State, which is number 7th. It's the 7th in net rankings. And they lost to Iowa State. They lost to Kansas, and they lost to Houston. So their 3 losses all came within the top 18. So when they play good teams, they lose. When they play bad teams, they win. Now they play Tennessee. I'm on the Vols. I just took them first half. Actually, this is not one of my free picks for today, so there you go. I took the Vols first half minus 3.5 because I did not feel like laying 7 or whatever on the road. So I did go there. I grabbed Tennessee in this one first half. Could Syracuse be live to win this game later on? Maybe, considering they're at home. But I'm not fully inclined on that one. Tennessee first half minus 3.5. We'll head to Florida and Duke. You got Florida 5-2 to start off the year. There are 2 losses. I can understand Arizona. Arizona's 6th in the net rankings. That's fine. They lost to TCU, who's 51st. Sure. They have a loss to New Orleans. Like that's like an ugly, ugly loss. Like they have a quad. I guess New Orleans is considered quad 3. Quad 3 loss, which is not particularly great. On the opposite side, you got well, not on the opposite side, but like their wins this year are North Florida, Florida State, Miami, Merrimack, and Providence. I'm gonna guess Providence is 124th for Providence. They're not high out. Is it Miami? Is Miami up here? Miami's 38th. I guess Miami would be their best win. I'm not sold on this Florida team yet. On the opposite side, you got Duke, who finally they're back home. I believe they just came off of a little tournament thing. But you look at Duke, they started off the year against Texas, who's 69th. But that was a neutral site game. They won by 15. They beat the crap out of Western Carolina, which makes sense. Army, which makes sense. Indiana State, which makes sense. They have a win against Kansas, which is a good win at 17th. They also have a win against Arkansas, which is 45th. They also beat Niagara and Howard. But you've got a Duke team that's actually challenged themselves so far this year. I cannot say the same for Florida besides the Arizona game. They did go on their little tournament, but they lost to TCU. So that's not really – they've lost to the top 2 teams that they played. Now they're getting Duke, which I don't like the spot for them. I got the first half at minus 3.5. It was 4.5 last night, but I'm not overly concerned about it. I was trying to get Duke's first half team total, but it was not available on the site earlier. I'm going to go quickly check that again because, yes, okay, I can get it, and it's only 38.5. I wanted to take that yesterday, or I wanted to bet that earlier today, and it wasn't popping up, but we're going to be taking Duke team total over 38.5, and I just tried to put the YouTube video in as my description. That's not what I wanted to do. So Duke team total first half over 38.5, so they have to get to 39 points. Duke has scored at least 80 points in 6 out of their 8 games. And the 2 that they didn't were on neutral sites. Kansas was a neutral site game. Correct? Maybe? Yeah, it looks like it was on neutral. Yeah, it was on neutral site. It was at Madison Square Garden. So the 2 of them were on neutral sites. All the home games, they've been scoring at least 80 plus, 90 plus, but they've been against bad teams. I think, though, Duke can get to 39 to 40 points. 39 to 40 points. So I'm going to take Duke team total over, and I also have Duke first half. So I took both of them. Another game that I took 2 plays on. I didn't take it on this one. Sorry. The following game we'll talk about. But UConn and Kansas. Another game that I talked about on my video last night. You got UConn coming into this one 6-1, and they are. Where are they? Oh, by the way, Duke's ranked number 2 in the net rankings, only behind Michigan. So there you go. It's because Duke has 5 quad 4 wins, so that really means nothing. UConn is, where are they in the power rankings? Because I thought I saw them. Are they really down that low? No, I might be just blind. UConn, 8th in the power rankings, or not in the power rankings, but in the net rankings. Their one loss came to Arizona, which is 6th, fine. They beat BYU, who's 14th, good win. They beat Illinois, who's 13th. It was ranked 13th. Where are they in the nets? 24th in the net rankings. So they have 2 top 25 net ranking wins, which is good. But this will be their first true road game. On the opposite side, you've got Kansas, who is 6-2 to start the year. They get to play this one at home. Only losses came to UNC, who's ranked 26th in the nets, and Duke, who's number 2 in the net. They do have a win against Tennessee, which is a nice win for them, considering Tennessee. I thought Tennessee was a lot higher. Tennessee's 11th in the net rankings. So Tennessee looks fine. Syracuse down below. Notre Dame, I believe Notre Dame is pretty low too. Notre Dame, 89th. So not really sold on them. But Kansas has challenged themselves a little bit. I feel like they've challenged themselves a little bit more than UConn has. Plus, you're getting UConn on their first true road game. I have Kansas here. I have Kansas. I got them at plus 115. I think this is a good spot for Kansas to get involved, get another big ranked win, boost themselves up. And the line has gone down. It was 2.5 last night. It's down to a 1.5 for UConn in terms of favorite. So I do like I do like Kansas at home in this one. Hey, Tim, any thoughts on Mizzou versus Notre Dame? I am on the Irish today. They are considered ACC in basketball, correct? Yep. Because you've got a Notre Dame team that's favorited. They're 5-3 against an undefeated Missouri team. But you look at Missouri's wins this year, and let me know when you see an impressive one. Howard, SEMO, VMI, Minnesota, Prairie View, South Dakota, South Carolina State, and Cleveland State. I believe Minnesota's the highest ranked one in that one, and they're 143. All of the other ones are tiny schools. Maybe is South Dakota up there, maybe? No, that's South Dakota State. South Dakota's 261. So no. They played nobody. And Notre Dame's going to be I believe they've played one game on the road, but they played nobody. So I'm not. Who did they play on the road? They played at Howard. That's insane that they actually. All right, props to them. They went to Howard. Normally, you don't see big schools going there. On the opposite side, you got Notre Dame, who is 5-3 to start the year. Losses are to Ohio State, which I don't think is a good loss, 62 in the net rankings, and then Kansas and Houston. So 2 teams that we talked about already. 2 teams that are actually quite solid, although their wins are against LIU, Detroit Mercy, EIU, Bellarmine, and Rutgers. So they're not even that great in terms of all that. I will say Missouri and the Nets are 50th. I believe they're ranked. No, they're not ranked. That's why. They're not ranked, but I know some people might argue it. But I'm on Notre Dame. I'm on the Irish. What did I get them at? Irish at -110. I believe they're up to 120, 125 now. I do like Notre Dame over Mizzou. Notre Dame is also 4-0 at home to start the year. And winning on the road is definitely not easy in college basketball. So I did take Notre Dame over Mizzou. We got 2 games left that I wanted to talk about for college basketball today. Kentucky hosting UNC. UNC's 16th in the rankings. Kentucky's 18th in terms of AP. In terms of net, UNC is 26th, and Kentucky is 15th. So Kentucky is the better ranked team according to the net rankings. AP says otherwise. UNC so far this year is 6-1. They are coming off their first loss of the year. It came to Michigan State, which fine. I don't hate that loss because Michigan State is 10th in the net. They're a good team. They're going to be a good team. My bigger concern is, well, they do have a win against Kansas, which is actually a really nice win. Other than that, they've played Central Arkansas, Radford, NC Central, Navy. A good win against St. Bonaventures because you got a Bonnie's team that's 6-1 right now. 6-1. So this is a good Bonnie's team. I'll give that. Where are they in the rankings? Bonaventure's 92, but for an A10 team, they're behind Dayton and Davidson in the A10, but they're still a solid squad. On the opposite side, you've got Kentucky, who is 5-2. And this is kind of a similar concern to this as who do you call it was for me? USC maybe? No. It was similar to somebody, but you've got Kentucky who their 2 losses are to Louisville. Similar to Syracuse. Louisville and Michigan State, the 2 good teams that they've faced, because we've talked about Michigan State, they're 10th. Louisville is 9th in the net rankings. So these are 2 teams that are a good net teams. And then on the opposite side, the teams that they've beaten are Nicholls State, Valparaiso, EIU, Loyola Maryland, and Tennessee Tech, which I believe the best team out of the bunch is Tennessee Tech no, maybe not at 250. Tennessee Tech's 258. Nicholls State is 281. Valparaiso is 226. Eastern Illinois is 325. Loyola Maryland is 311. So none of these teams are good. None of the teams that they've beaten are good. The 2 teams that they have faced, they got blown out by. And I kind of double dipped on this game. I have UNC full game plus 5.5. First half, I took them outright at plus 158. This is a UNC team that I think is going to come into this game pissed after their last game, after getting blown out by Michigan State. Yes, Michigan State's still a good team, but I think this is going to be a spot that they get blown out there. So I do like UNC. I took them plus 5.5 full game. I got plus 158 first half. So Tar Heels against the Wildcats. Stop GU. Welcome to the chat. Appreciate you stopping by. And hopefully everybody's doing well today. We got one more game that we'll talk about, and that's going to be Oregon and USC. And this is probably, out of the 5 games or 6 games we're talking about, this is probably my favorite play. Because you got USC coming into this one 7-0. You got Oregon coming into this one 4-3. USC 7-0, but you look at their wins: Cal Poly, Manhattan, Illinois State, Troy, Boise State, Seton Hall, and Arizona State. I believe Arizona State's going to be their best win. They're 102 in the net rankings. Not particularly good. Not to mention he had a triple overtime game against Troy that you guys barely survived with a 21-point favorite. Took a buzzer beater to win that one. So I think it's a very fluky top 25 team there. On the opposite side, you look at Oregon. I will say it is going to be in Oregon, so you've got at least that going for you. They started off the year 4-0, so good for them there. They started off the year strong, beating Hawaii, Rice, San Diego State, and Oregon State. South Dakota State, which I believe South Dakota State might be their best win. South Dakota State's 171. Oregon State is 265, and Hawaii and Rice aren't even close. So their best win is South Dakota State. They end up challenging themselves, though. They went on the road or onto a neutral site. They lost by 11 to Auburn, 17 to South Dakota State, and they lost by 10 to Creighton, all on the road. They could come back, though, after this and play a USC team. And Oregon is actually favored now at -1.5. I got even money on Oregon. Sign me up for the Ducks. This is going to be the first of the ranked versus unranked system plays that we're going to go with this year. Just because I know people might be saying, oh, what about Syracuse? No, way too big of a spread. Either it's got to be 2.5 points or less that the unranked is either a dog by or a favorite. And then we'll look towards the unranked team, and that's what I like with this one. I'm taking Oregon. I got them at even money, so we're going to ride with the Ducks against USC. But those are the fun games for today. I will say look ahead to tomorrow. There is also looks like there's going to be some fun games tomorrow as well, because you do got undefeated Indiana heading to Minnesota, which we'll see. Minnesota's 4-4. Come off of 3 straight losses to San Fran, Stanford, and Santa Clara. Probably not anything too good there. Where's Minnesota in the net? 143. Yeah, probably nothing crazy. There. Where's Oregon in the net? Oregon's 192 in the net, and they're a favorite against USC. Which USC? Nope. I gotta look up Southern Cal. It's 23rd, and they're favorited. That should tell you what you need to know. Covering NBA today. What game would you like to know about? Let me know. I was just talking over some of the ranked games in college basketball today that I think is going to be really fun. If you have any questions, I like the Knicks today as my free pick for the NBA, but let me know if you have any other NBA games that you would like me to talk about real quick before I head out. I'll probably be heading out within the next couple minutes. I will say Louisville and Arkansas looks like a fun game tomorrow. That one's in Arkansas. Clemson versus Alabama could be fun. SMU versus Vanderbilt could be fun. And then NC State and Auburn. So a bunch of those games look like they could be cool, could be fun games to cover tomorrow. But that is pretty much everything for today. Once again, free picks. I'm actually going to put them in the chat. I'm going to put all this stuff in the chat. Free picks, copy. There you guys go. There's the free picks for today. Duke first half, -3.5. You've got Michigan State full game -5.5. UNC full game +5.5. Kansas money line +115. Oregon money line +100. The Knicks -102. And the Chicago Blackhawks team total over 2.5 at +115. But that is everything for today. I will be back again tomorrow. The card will be posted for members right after the show. I have it all saved on BetStamp. I'm about to go ahead and screenshot it and post it up there. So make sure all members, all my plays will be up there in a couple of minutes. That's going to do it for this edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. I'll see you guys again tomorrow with another one. Peace out, guys.